I have a very special guest today. I've learned a lot from him, and hopefully you guys can learn too. I get to interview my dad, Robin Wicomb. Rob, Dad, Pops, thanks for being on the show.
Welcome. Say it.
Thank you, welcome. Welcome to San Diego. I know you haven't been to America in 7 years, it's been a long time, but I kind of wanted to take a step back. I know you're very meticulous about how you work. You run a couple of successful projects in South Africa, from filtration company to infinity pools, very high-end projects, very luxurious projects, and you're kind of known over there for really your level of detail. So I'd like to talk about a bunch of things. I'd like to talk with the audience sort of what it takes to be disciplined, to be detailed, your approach as an immigrant. And what do you think of the US in general?
US, I'm not very familiar with the US, but I haven't been to many places except New York, which is like a buzz. But San Diego, it's like a fantastic place. It's similar to South Africa. The weather is about the same. Our winters are just a little bit more extreme. You have more rain. And it's so unique that we're here now and it's raining, and we have a drought back home where we have to harvest water, and I'll be like looking around and I see no harvesting implements in place here. And I did some...
It's been dry for a while. We kind of got it's kind of weird that today it's raining in San Diego.
And I see all this like water running to waste or going to this ocean where it could have been captured, and you could water your gardens at a later stage, which I think it's maybe a great thing to do in San Diego.
So take me back. I know that you were in corporate. You worked for a major telecom company for 23 years, and then you decided to go the entrepreneurial route and start your own business. Talk to me about sort of that decision-making process of sort of jumping ship, sort of burning the corporate flag, and then and kind of doing your own thing. Talk to me about that decision making and why you decided to do that.
I had a passion for gardening. I always liked gardening. I said to my partner that, look, why don't we just decide to get into the landscaping business? I did a few jobs for people just by word of mouth, and it like really just snowballed. It just improved. And then another bug bit me. I was introduced to swimming pools, corporate swimming pools or commercial swimming pools. And I was offered to do one swimming pool for Virgin Active like 12 years ago.
And for those people who don't know, Virgin Active is owned by Richard Branson, one of the biggest gym franchises in the world, actually.
I maintain all their pools in Cape Town, which is like close to 20 pools. From the one job, the rest snowballed, and I'm doing all their maintenance now.
And then you've also done some private pools, right? For some really successful people like Clifton and Camps Bay. Talk about those and what it takes to sort of build those sort of dramatic pools.
Yes, I've done some pools for very, very high-end clients in South Africa, On Clifton Beach, the very first pool I did in Clifton was between the rocks. That was infinity as well, so the water would run like over the wall and into the rocks and back into the pool. And this pool was like 2 meters from the sea. Also at Camps Bay, where they wanted like designer tiling onto the pool. And you have to, like, before you tile, is to like actually seal the pool with either glass fiber or a BASF product, and then you have to flood test the spool to see if it's holding, and then you have to retile over it, which is like time consuming, but it's just the way it must be done.
Do you think that America is a great place for business?
I think so, yes. I don't know if it's because of the value of the dollar, the buying power, that it's so affordable if you come here to install something. Back in South Africa, it's the middle class and higher that only install pools.
If you were sort of starting all over again, do you feel that this would be a great place to kind of get established, or to kind of move your family to?
Yes, it can happen. I feel it's just the way. If you do quality work and you get referrals from the one job to the next job, it can just snowball. And I mean, that's just the way. If you got a fantastic name to carry you through, you can be successful anywhere in the world.
Growing up, I remember you were always pretty hard on me on work ethic, and you made sure that I worked harder and harder. So talk to me about your sort of background and on the sort of the lessons that you learned on being disciplined. And
you need to work smarter nowadays. It's not a matter of working hard. Do it the correct way first time. Don't try and do shortcuts.
You have a couple of quotes that you would try to hammer into my head, right?
Measure twice and cut once.
That's right. I'll get it one day.
Because it's expensive. If you have a piece of expensive PVC piping and you need to cut you cut it wrong. You don't want to put the extra joint in there or extra connector in there.
But that's like a philosophy for life, right?
Yeah.
It's not just like with cutting piping for plumbing, right?
Yeah,
Just,
it's everything. I mean,
you're saying
do it the right thing right.
working hard is important, but working smart is more important these days.
Yeah, and also there's a quote that I actually like to copy as well from Nelson Mandela. I love using, and it's always in my mind. It's like, you know, a job might seem so huge, but he always said, it always seems impossible until it's done. And I mean, that like works for me. I like, when I go to any site and I look at this job, oh my gosh, this is going to take a few days. But if you put your mind to things like that and you like just think that this is just another little job, or it works, it gets done like within reasonable time.
What do you think you would tell yourself, sort of words of wisdom as you're, as you sort of continuing the path?
Just a few words, like I said it earlier, work smart. Don't work hard, work smart. And the biggest, be honest towards yourself and to your client, but more, be honest within yourself.
I want to talk about race. South Africa is very political, very racial. Do you feel like racial dynamics in South Africa has sort of held you back in some capacity?
Oh yes, it did. But I've overcome that. We in the free country now. But it did, at the apartheid era, it held me back quite a bit.
So for those, some of the people that watch YouTube they don't know what apartheid was. Can you explain to them what apartheid is?
Apartheid was when I was classified as colored in South Africa, and I couldn't use the same train as a white person.
Okay.
I had to sit at the back of the bus, where the white people had to sit in the front of the bus, and there was 2 entrances. We couldn't go to the same restaurant, or we couldn't buy at the same shop, or live in the same area.
Or go to the same schools.
Or go to the same
or
schools.
get the same jobs.
Correct.
And so that would be different for white people, for colored people, for
Black people.
Indian people, black people, Chinese people. There's all different
Yeah.
categories of privileges.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
And when did that change?
In 1994.
Great.
That's like 24 years ago.
So just pretty recently, right? So
Yeah.
so obviously that affects you, and you feel that America has the same sort of racial challenges?
I don't think so. No, what I've noticed here is not the same. Everybody's equal for me over here.
Fantastic, yeah. And then I feel that's really what makes America great, is that there is this equal playing field. It's not about the color of your skin. It's not necessarily about where you went to school or who. It's really about the merit. And do you feel the same way from sort of feeling it? Do you feel that people can get ahead in the States from just working hard and working smart?
Oh yes, definitely. Back in South Africa, I think there's still very much a class distinction. Like certain people won't deal with you because you come from a lower class, That's what I feel or sense. Yeah, you don't have that.
What other things have you noticed about the States, or specifically San Diego, that you're excited about in general?
It's such a growing city, and everything in San Diego works, If you look at the bus services, or what you guys call it, the trolley, back home, I mean, we don't have those kind of systems that works. Everything is running late. There's so much theft where they steal the cables for the signaling. So the people are all interrupted with getting to work on time. There's always issues. Yeah, I didn't see any issues. I mean, I got into a trolley and I got there on time.
I know it's crazy that what some people are used to versus in a first world country versus a third world country, and you sometimes think the experience that you're having is normal for everywhere in the world, right? No matter if you're in the third world or first world. But there is still a lot of opportunities, even in the first world countries. I think there's a lot of lessons that could be learnt, coming over from a third world country to a first world, and obviously vice versa with infrastructure and that sort of thing. But regarding the lessons that can come from South Africa to the States, what do you think those are? What do you think are some of the things that the US or California, San Diego can learn from South Africa or Cape Town?
You just have to be slot into this kind of business here, and it's because there's always a stigma attached to the third world country, and now you come to a first world country, so maybe it's inspiring to come and work here. That's what I think. It's just going to change your whole outlook to it, because now you're working in America, and everybody has an American dream,
Yeah. What's an American dream to you?
Is to come back here and live and travel and see the whole of America.
Gotcha.
You know.
No, and
And I find it so safe and free to do it. I mean, it can be done.
you know, there's a lot of actually South Africans who have, you know, came to the US with nothing, and then they've actually achieved quite a bit. You know, specifically Elon Musk, obviously Tesla, SpaceX, Patrick Soon-Shiong, the biomedical company, the cancer research company. You know, they're multi-billionaires. Do you think that America provides a platform for people to be successful?
Oh yes, I mean, really. I think anybody that come from a South African background, if they can do it there, they can do it like tenfold better in America.
And do you think it's a South African background, or do you think it's kind of a, you know, growing up in sort of a more of a challenging background where they can
I think it's the challenging part that really comes up there. And I mean, because things work so easier here, the challenge is not that great, and you actually then just flourish more.
Right. So because of the infrastructure and because of the sort of systems in place,
Yeah.
you can create more. So great. Thanks, Pops, for coming on the show. I really appreciate you being in, and all the lessons that I've learned over the years. I'm excited to continue to learn. And for those of you guys out there, if you learned something from your dad and you want to share, please comment below. Thanks again, Pops, for being on the show. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, and good luck with your ventures.
Thanks, Dad.